a man, the baddest in the land. Somebody who always can.
A cup of coffee in my hand and a song in my heart. This is episode number 52. 1 whole year of What's Up Flobo After Hours. In fact, if you are a member of the Boisterous Crew, that's our Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boyce. I actually have uploaded a clip show of the best moments of the first year of What's Up Flobo, the award-winning What's Up Flobo After Hours. So check it out on patreon.com/Flobo Boyce. And before I even get to the show today, I have to give a shout out to the Patreon subscribers, members of the Boisterous Crew, we call it. We're talking about Christopher C, Chrissy H, ACH, Edric P, Oliver E, Princess Leia, Matthew C, Lindsay U, Richard R, and John W. You guys make this show a reality. Coming over birthday because I'm an old man. This is episode number 52 of What's Up Flobo After Hours, but I had to do it big. I had to get somebody worthy. My guest today is somebody we're grounded on the comedy scene, and we're making sure it's happening on multiple sides of entertainment. Where I am on the podcasting side, this guy can be seen all over the planet, or at least Los Angeles, or over the world, baby, as the English dub on the Netflix show Lupin. Give it up for Arsene Lupin. How you doing, sir?
What's up, my brother? How goes it?
Yo, I'm so glad you made it. I was a little worried. You know how you out there thieving, stealing jewels and stuff, man. Thanks for coming on the show tonight. I appreciate you.
Yeah, my bedtime was 3 hours ago, but of course.
What? You like 20 years old, 25 years old. It should be my bedtime. It should be my bedtime. I'm on coffee at 10 p.m., bro. Like, that's done for me, man.
Happy belated, by the way.
And happy belated to you, sir, man. How did you celebrate yours, man? How'd you celebrate?
Went out to breakfast. We went to this place. I think it's called Big Boys, and
Burbank.
Burbank, yeah. Went to Big Boys. Went to Universal. Then went all out and went to dinner. This place called Mama Shelter downtown. No, it's in Hollywood. It's so bomb, bro. It's so bomb.
So are you a Universal fan, or did you got dragged to it? Like, what's your...
No, I'm a big Universal fan. Like, I go every week. Like, it's one of my favorite places on earth.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been in a minute. I haven't done the new Jurassic Park. Is that worth it? Are you a fan of that one? Or?
I'm afraid. I'm not going to lie.
What? What? What happened?
I don't... It's something about, like, roller coaster, it going down. Like, it's... I'm just afraid. Like, that's like the one thing at Universal I won't do. And I know Steven Spielberg would probably be hella disappointed, but yeah,
so sad.
I can't.
Like, you won't rob my roller coaster. I put the work in. I imagineered it and everything. I like Universal too, man. Like, I mean, when The Simpsons was there, because I was a Back to the Future kid. I don't know. Did you ride Back to the Future at all when you were younger?
Yeah.
Or?
I rode it once. Because, like, you know, it wasn't growing up. It wasn't a ride that, like, was. I think they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Right. But I remember I rode it once, and I remember I was a little nervous doing it because, like, I'm not a big roller coaster dude. But I got on it, and I do remember it briefly. But
I hate when Wong.
Back to the Future fan.
I hate when Wong in chat says also the point. I hate roller coasters too. It blows my mind. So what do you do at Universal then? Because isn't it all like video screen roller coasters? Isn't that everything they have over there?
But it's like it's virtual stuff, so it's stuff that I can handle. You know what I mean? Like, like there's some roller coasters I can do. Like I can do the Mummy ride, the other Harry Potter rides I can do. And then, like, you know, they have the other virtual rides, Despicable Me, the Simpsons ride, you know. And pretty much, I would say, like, the biggest thing I love to do is, like, the tour. That's...
Oh, yeah. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, because, you know, for entertainers, like, it's, you know, it just lifts you up, your spirits, just knowing, like, man, I could be working behind the scenes here one day.
It's funny you mentioned that. When I was at my lowest point here in LA, like, well, one of my first lowest points, I had a lot of those. I went to Warner Brothers just to be on the tour. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be here because I want to see the Friends spot, the Pretty Little Liars spot, because I was like, if I don't make it, at least I can say I saw it, you know. So I totally get that. Mark has a question for you. He's like, does Space Mountain count as a roller coaster though?
I would say so.
Okay.
Like if you're strapped in, like that type of strap. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, in the dark and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing about the Warner Brothers tour, real quick before I move on, was that it's like 2 hours, man. And they park the car and you get out and you walk around, and it's way more expensive now. At the time, it was like $48. So I was like, man, do I really want to go on this tour? Like, I know I'm depressed, but I could go for a cheeseburger for cheaper.
It's funny though. I will say this is the waiting time sometimes for a ride. It's like you're waiting like almost an hour to do a ride that's like less than 2 minutes. I think that's funny. I remember one time me and this girl I'm seeing, we went to Universal like 2 weeks ago, and the waiting time for one of the Harry Potter rides was 40 minutes. I remember this guy standing by one of the workers and was like, wait, how long is it? Like he was nervous.
Yeah. Maybe it's my American thing, man. If I gotta wait for a roller coaster for 2 hours, or if I gotta wait for a meal for an hour, I'm leaving. You can't. I got things to do. Like what?
Makes sense.
So let's talk about the comedy game, man. That's what we met, man. Doing the late night grind of trying to write jokes and make them funny around Los Angeles, man. And I always tell people this: I always respect your grind, because even though we haven't really chilled in the same spot physically in over a year or two, you will still hit me up and be like, yo, man, we grinded tonight. You go and get those reps. Like, what's your experience with comedy? How'd you get into the game? Let me all know everything, bro.
Well, I got into comedy with a mutual friend of ours, Nina Go Shang Fiao.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nina. She introduced me to the guy who was booking her, and then he booked me. And that's how I kind of, I got into comedy. But man, I realized my first year, your first year as a comedian, you are just not good. You know what I mean? Like,
you said you were though. You're like, I'm funny. I'm hilarious.
I thought I think that was just like my ego at the time, man. It's like I just had that ego where like anything I wrote out, like I'm just good. But then it's like,
yo, I can't top this, yo.
Right. But like, when you kill your ego, you're just like, dang, like my jokes are trash. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, my ego is gone now, and like I definitely feel more grounded now. But comedy is it's no joke. This is something like if you're serious about it, you gotta go all in. It's hard. It's one of the toughest things you could ever do, but if you stick with it, everything will fall into place. I've been doing it for a couple years, but it's tough, but I enjoy doing it. I really do. And it's a great way to, interact with people. And, I enjoy like, getting issues out and seeing if people can relate to them. Like that's one of the coolest things. And I would say one of the hardest things is like making sure the crowd understands what you're saying.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm a fast talker. Like, so that was always my thing. Like my comedy voice, especially in LA, where in New York I have to set up my jokes once, but I feel in LA I have to set up my jokes twice to people understand what I'm trying to come from. But that's totally a personal choice. But the thing of the comedy we do though, because Los Angeles has a lot more comedians than there are venues, is that it is a grind to get up there and try to find open mic time, or at least at first. Once you get booked, it's a whole different thing. Getting them open mic time, perfecting your jokes and stuff. And so I felt like there is like a tribe of comics that you always see at clubs, because they're trying to do 2, 3, 4 shows. There's many times you put me onto venues I hadn't seen before. So how's that be like? You spent time writing your jokes, but you got to spend almost more time promoting yourself to find space to say those jokes, especially in your first year or two.
It's all about one thing about being a comedian. It's all about networking, like figuring out like where you can do mics, who you can talk to about getting booked on mics. Like, networking and connection is everything. And, you have to have a good positive attitude. especially in this field, because nobody. I don't think anyone wants to work with someone who's kind of a dick.
That's true. True. Yeah. So do you have a favorite comedy experience, or is that like too much of a cliche question?
Oh, my favorite comedy experience. I will say my biggest one. I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm headlining in Vegas this
Snap.
upcoming Friday. Yeah.
Okay, this Friday.
This coming
Oh,
Friday.
this is like breaking news, at least to me, because I didn't know this. I'm not I didn't know this.
I hadn't posted about it yet. It's a couple minutes away from the Strip. It's called Pizza Comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kelly Williams, shout out to Kelly. He do his show. So
Well, y'all, you gotta walk me through this because I've only done that once. The pack the car up, the drive cross state line, seeing a name in the marquee. Like it's a whole different vibe. Like, how did you when you got that call, man? What was going through your mind?
Oh, it was through Insta. I was gonna be out there this weekend, and I knew Kelly lives out there and he does shows, so I just asked him like, hey man, if you got any gigs this upcoming weekend, I'd like to get on. And he just said, can you do 30? And I'm like,
yes, I can.
Yeah. Yes, let's do it. Yeah. You down the headline? I'm like, yes. So it's as simple as that.
Even I didn't have the material. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll make it work.
I didn't. Yeah. I've just started comedy last week, but yeah.
Yeah. Put me on. We've collaborated a couple of times, and Cookies and Beer. No, American for Now. You were collaborating American for Now, my comedy album, and like you did a hard 25, and it was like nope. It was like all right, shit, dude. Like a lot of people were like, yo, the opening act, he was great. Flobo.
Wait, people said that to you?
I'm just fucking with you. Imagine. I come to your show. Oh yeah, you garbage, but your opening act was great.
It was early on I was doing impressions, but yeah, I was silly back then. But
you done with those?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just we have enough comedians that do impressions, you know what I mean? So it's like let people see who Austin really is.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
But a lot of voice actors we'll get to in a second, tend to work on their craft, their impressions on stage. But so now you have a separate persona now, or do you try to reconcile both of them? Or?
I'll do like small impressions, but I won't be like, this is my impression of Will Smith, blah blah blah. Like, if it like smooths into my stand-up, I'll do it. But for me now doing stand-up, it's like, talking about myself or my observations through, from the world and all that kind of stuff. Trying to go for George Carlin, Chappelle type vibe, because those are my two biggest influence.
Do you watch wrestling real quick? I'm just curious.
I don't.
Okay. Well, because a lot of times I feel like comedians are like wrestling personas. Like you come out with a gimmick, and the gimmick is cool with the first year while you find yourself, and then you're like, nah, I'm gonna be me. I'm just gonna be me in some tights. I'm gonna wrestle. Like when I first started doing comedy, my job was I would call myself the modern throwback. Like I was supposed to be someone in my late 20s, like your age. And I would complain as if I was an old person. Back in my day, coffee was only 45 cents. And I got myself in a box. I felt like I was limiting myself to be this modern throwback character that I was like, all right, I'm just going to shut it and just be myself. So yeah, that's great, man. I love the fact you had that growth. I haven't seen a show in a while, and apparently I'm missing out. I am slacking. I'm sorry, Austin.
Man, this pandemic though, it just showed. You're alone with your thoughts. And you're just like, man, I should just really put the pen to the pad and just like see what I can do, And I still got some work to do, but I really came up with some good stuff.
Oh damn! Can't wait to see it. Headlining. If you're out of Vegas this weekend, make sure you check him out. Haywood Wong has a question for you. He asked, "What's your dream stage you want to do next for your stand-up act?"
Man, I really want to go back home in Chicago, do the Chicago theater.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's probably my biggest so far right now. Like, that's probably my biggest dream stage.
Is it messed up that as someone from Brooklyn, I think of the Chicago theater, I think of like Perfect Strangers, the sitcom from back in the day. Like that's the thing. They were walking around balcony. Okay, I'm done. But you mentioned the pandemic year, man. Said you were writing, but I also see you performing outside. Looks like with the one man setup. Like, how did that go? Did you decide one day you were just tired of writing and you're going to make your own venues? Like, what was the thought process behind that?
What do you mean one man shows?
I saw you on Instagram. You have like this you and a speaker. Like you're just going back to basics and just having the shows out in the people in the parks and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I just get asked to do those park shows. It's like regular shows just outside. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I thought you was like just grinding, like yo, I solder the speaker myself. Okay, my fault.
I'm not that brave yet.
I had a whole lot of question for that. That's why I do my research. That's why I'm not a journalist. Hey, I want to also ask: is there a comedian you want to collab with? And well, I guess pick 2 or 3 if you have a long list or something.
Man, I just watched Roy Wood Jr. stuff today. He is hysterical.
Yeah.
I would love to work with him. Bo Burnham, he's definitely another influence of mine. I would love to work with.
How was Inside for you?
Oh my God, Inside! It was it was sad, but it was incredible.
Yeah.
And last but not least, of course, Chappelle. He's definitely another influence.
Yeah, that's what I saw Inside. I was like, as a comedian, I get it, but how can I recommend this? And I go in more detail on my Patreon show about that. Charlene, hey, what's up? Ask, what's your opinion on the show Kill Tony?
I don't know much about Kill Tony. I just know like Kill Tony is the one you do like 1 minute jokes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I don't know much about that.
Charlie doesn't know, man, but that setup process is a lot. Like, before the pandemic, obviously, you go in one day, you wait in the line, but the line like snakes into the open mic line, and you're like, "Is this Kill Tony? No, it's open mic." you put your name in a bucket, and then they just post it. You're like, "Oh, I didn't get on it. All right, see y'all next week." It's like 150 comedians out there in the porch of the Comedy Store. You feel like you're at Home Depot. It's crazy. You a mechanic? Oh, you a mechanic? Yo, me too. It's a weird vibe. It's straight up it is.
But I envy those comics who can just get up and do like jokes in a minute. Like I can't do it.
I don't feel comfortable. I don't like doing them. I feel so slimy. I'm like, ha, joke, ha, and I think that's a lot of problems we have. Like. Guys like Chappelle, or even not even guys, it doesn't have to be. I got Whitney Cummings, for example. I don't make it about a guy thing. When you were at the certain tier, you get all the time you want. You can come out there, you can take 3 to 4 or 5 minutes to set up a joke, but you get booked 5 minutes at a time. You got to come with something harder than that. You know what I mean? You got to be like, oh, okay, check number 3. Yeah. But that's just me. But I was on that Instagram because I'll be following you blowing up and stuff. Let's talk about the Lupin, Netflix. The English voice dub of one of the biggest shows, actually the biggest French language show ever.
In the US,
How's it been, man? And what's the experience like? If people come out the woodwork asking for money, like what's up?
Oh man, it's definitely gotten my name out there. I'll tell you that. What exactly do you want to know?
I mean, like this your vibe. Like, when you get the phone call, you're working. Well, that's one thing, but like seeing it successful, because Netflix is a giant void of content. They just like disappear. But like logging on, seeing top 10 housewives in the Midwest, hearing your voice. I mean, what's the feeling with that, man?
Man, it's so amazing to like, you've seen that I've posted about it, like to see people comment how much they love my voice on the show. That is like, it's so incredible. And, when I read, when we did the show, you're like, man, of course, I hope this does well. but to see the success of where it is astonishing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, again, to see it trending in the US and then to have people from different countries want to see you and see you record. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's incredible. And you know, it's great, you know, it's great to have success. And I hope the show goes on for a little bit. It sounds like it will. So
yeah. Sorry, I'm like phasing out. My camera just said, "I'm done with you right now." It's like, did you watch yourself, or is that something you don't really up to? You don't really do.
I'm working on it. You know, like I'm very insecure sometimes of watching myself, but you know, I'll listen. You know, I watch the show. I'll listen to myself, and you know how like you hear yourself on camera and you sound way different than how you hear yourself. Like
absolutely,
yeah. Yeah, I watch the show.
Yeah, man. I mean, I hear you. Like, cause I do some like the commentary sometimes, and you know that your voice is integral to this, but you want to watch it, but you want to tell people to check it out. You want to see how they change stuff, but you're just kind of like, dang. I hate my voice personally. I think I sound like a kid being strangled, but it's just surreal to hear it. It does. It does. Yeah, I'm like a grown man going up here, like I can do that, right? So, yeah, it must be crazy, man. So voice acting is something you wanted to do, or was it like you were an actor and then someone said, "Have you tried voice acting?" What was the transition like?
I had been told, like, you know, a couple of years ago I should do voice acting because, you know, like I do impressions and stuff, and I didn't exactly know how to get into voice acting, but this was something. Voice acting is the main thing I get sent out for as far as auditions, and luckily, shout out to casting director Dorit Simone. She casted me for my first voice role. I voice dubbed this detective on this foreign show called Ad Vitam for Netflix. It didn't take off, unfortunately, but like I was on her radar after that, and it's one of those things where like she knows me personally. She's like, "Oh, we can bring Austin in for this," which is very cool. Yeah, I love voice acting, man. It's really fun. And the irony is, you know, growing up, I was so insecure in my voice. Yeah,
Okay.
it's what's getting me out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, voice acting it's dope. I like it.
What was the thing that you're self-conscious about? Just that you didn't have enough bass? You did people making fun of you or whatever? Or
I just thought I sounded nerdy, you know.
I got you. I hear you. I get that too. Like you don't sound like you're from around these parts. You know. Do you have a dream voice acting role? Or that is a really weird question to ask.
I was thinking about that. Like it was either I would love to do a Despicable Me type franchise. Okay, maybe three things. I'd like to do a Bob's Burgers type series or Pixar, like a Pixar movie. Yeah.
Okay, so like adult animated or like a kids animated feature, but for all ages, kind of a thing.
Yeah, probably like more sausage party type. Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen it. Is it worth it? Checking it out.
I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Has anything changed for you?
Yeah, it's definitely worth.
Has anything changed for you lifestyle wise since the launch of Lupin? Do you like spend more time in vocal training? Do you answer more fan emails? Like, what has it anything shifted, or is it kind of like business as usual?
I talk about this. I started talking about this in my stand-up. Like I'm slowly building a fan base because a couple days ago, this woman, complete stranger, right, never met, she commented on one of my pics on Insta, and she said, "Oh, I love your voice on Lupin. It's amazing. I imagine you whispering in my ear at night." And after that, I contacted Netflix. I was like, "Yo, you guys got to renew this show as many seasons as possible." Okay, like,
you're not freaked out. You're just like, yeah, bro.
like, yo, do a crossover, do a spinoff. Let's just make it happen. Okay, like,
Yeah.
Keep it going till Zendaya reaches out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just
It's a proof right here, baby. I'm a
yeah,
commodity.
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. I respect
Um,
that.
as far as other than that, like it's still the same. But like I said, my name is getting out there, and like I'm doing more interviews and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Charlene has a question for you. She says, thoughts on Seth MacFarlane?
He is definitely an idol of mine. He's somebody I dream to work with as well. I met him a few times. Very nice dude. Um, he's hilarious. He's he's a genius.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so many different franchises, like able to spread it out towards the end. Like I'm not the biggest fan, but I respect the craft. Almost like a Tyler Perry thing. Like I respect the craft. That's my cup of tea. But yeah,
Yeah, he's like I want to work as hard as him, like create as much stuff.
Yeah. Are you an Orville fan, by the way? I'm curious.
Over fan?
Orville, his sci-fi show.
Oh man, yeah. I'm not all caught up. Like I'm still on the first season, but it's a good show.
Okay, cool. And Sherman asks thoughts on Steve Harvey, which is okay.
Nothing, good or bad. Like he's cool. Yeah.
I mean, he represents Chicago sometimes. He's from the South, but he went there a couple times. So the mix now, man. Like when you go to parties and someone asks you what you do, right? You're like the comedian, voice actor, musician. Like you dance. Like what don't you do?
Oh, I tell I tell them, I'm an actor, I'm a comedian. Definitely want to put what you do out there, I would say.
Yeah. Just believe in yourself. That's all good.
Absolutely.
Did you check out? Yeah, sorry.
I mean, yeah, you just never know like who you're talking to, like you could help each other out.
What's up, Flobo After Hours here with Austin Warren, my homie. I have one other question for you. It says, I doubt you have an answer for this one, but also, you're Cubs or White Sox?
Not a sports freak, so.
Yeah, what do you do to pass the time then? If you're not creating, like, how do you recharge? How do you, when you go out to have an afternoon off, what do you do?
Oh man, I'm watching movies or I'm writing jokes or a script or something.
Bro, I said when you're not working. I said when you're not working, what do you do? I write scripts, bro.
I'm working.
Boo!
Oh man, my bad. I'll go to the gym, and like I said, my favorite place to be is Universal, and I'll go to a comedy show.
Yeah.
I'm always interested. Even when I'm not working, like I'm still interested in some way in the arts.
I like that. And then during the pandemic, when you couldn't go nowhere, were you still doing the gym stuff at your crib, or how did you keep mentally?
Yeah, I had to get a pull-up bar and like just stay fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was something that really sucked, not going to the gym.
No, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, I had to quit mine because like I was uncomfortable with the protocols they were doing at my gym. But like once you have that routine taken away, you just feel every donut's gonna make you fat. Like or every meal is like, well, this is it, guys.
Yeah, I tried to stay on a diet, when I started working out, and then when the pandemic hit, you're just like, damn, the chocolate cake looks so good right now. Fuck.
I ain't going nowhere. She.
It was like my mind's telling me no, but my body.
Yo, what you do to that cake, Austin?
I don't see nothing wrong.
Yo, Charlene asks, she says, how much has comedy changed for you during this pandemic?
Comedy, comedy comes from pain. And, I believe in spreading truth and awareness, especially in comedy, because, the truth may hurt, but sometimes it's something we need to hear. And when it comes to comedy with me now, I believe in being honest with myself. Like I talk about real life experiences, how I feel about certain situations personally. So yeah, comedy has definitely taught me to be more true.
Yeah. Do you, and again, you don't have to get too into this, but like, I know a lot of times as comics, we hesitate when it comes to, well, how far can I cut to the bone? Either in the writing stage or after you perform it and someone like boos you or something like that, right? Like, has that changed? Have you gone farther? Like, have you said, all right, I'm going to talk about this issue or how I'm feeling, mental health, whatever. Like, you ever decided to push the envelope because you were inside or?
Yeah, we're dealing with this thing right now, cancel culture, and I am I talk about how silly cancel culture is nowadays. So as far right now, like the jokes I've made, they have gotten great laughs. But I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. That's many comedians when it comes to comedy. It's like no one would get on stage and think, who am I gonna hurt tonight? It's all in good fun. And I feel like that's something people have seemed to forgotten. It's all, we want you to be on our side. Like we want to win you over, But yeah, I do try to push the boundaries a bit, but I'm not trying to get that kind of heat on me. So I try, I try to push the envelope, but I do try to be careful.
See, I've always had the impression, and I'm talking as a fan of comedy, not as a comedian myself, but like someone who goes to comedy shows, that when you go to a comedy club, it's like going into an octagon or a ringside fight. You know what I mean? Like for me, the best thing you can do if you're not feeling something is to either not clap or walk away. I've been in the crowd, see people giving like, "You ain't funny. You was messed up," going like, I wonder why you feel compelled to do that. Because he's not saying on the street corner. It isn't your boss doing it. But it seems that the theater of stand-up comedy is now not protected. Now it feels like, no, it is as volatile as like if I got on the subway and be like, "Oh, right, I hate about hipsters." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's no understanding of like what the location is. And that's just me talking about myself. I'm not saying you or anything, but that's why I feel when I get on stage these days, or right these days.
Yeah, man. I look at, this is entertainment, and entertainment is art. You know what I mean? Like it's like going into a museum. You're not gonna like everything you see.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But what's weird is like it feels like we're in a time where people think we have to like all the same things. That's
right.
Comedy is not new. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Comedy has been what it's always been. It's either a hit or miss. And it's easy to just say, I didn't like that. And I feel like we need to get back to that time where people can just easily say, okay, I didn't like that joke. I can move on. Not just, oh, I didn't like that joke. Let me blog about it.
Yeah.
Put so much heat on this one person, like it's silly.
Yeah, it is. It's different. I'm getting to the point now when I'm writing, I'm like, well, I'm going to try it. Like, I feel like one of the worst things you can do is have this self-edit. Like, it's one thing if you have, again, talking for myself, it's one thing if you have a joke that you think it's funny and you recite it and once you say it, you realize it crosses the line. And you go, okay, I saw the envelope, I saw the edge, I went over the edge. But the problem I was getting was like, at the writing stage, I was like, that might get somebody mad. That might get somebody mad too. And then nothing will get done. I'm like, well, am I really a comedian if I don't write? It's like, am I a published author if I don't write books? Am I a doctor of education if I don't make whatever? So I feel like that was a part I have to like disregard and go back to, I'm going to write it. And if it offends you, then okay, thank you. I'll take it under advisement, but
right.
That's just
me. Yeah. Once, if something offends you, if you say something that offends someone, like once you're made aware, it's like, okay, I understand now. Like I'll be careful, but at least give people a chance to understand why what they said was offensive, whatever, before you go and like, tweet about them, trying to cancel them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think one of the best attempts of like canceling someone that the person dodged was Stephen Colbert. JLJ Media says you should never censor yourself at the writing stage. I know, it's good advice. That's what was happening with comedy for a bit. But thankfully, a pandemic came. And what I mean by that, guys, don't clip it out and tag me and say I supported COVID. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when the pandemic hit, all of us were at home. It was like we had to reevaluate what's more important. Because even though I had dreams of traveling the world, I was focusing more on just traveling as opposed to sorting up the material. And when you're at home in prison, all you're doing is sorting up the material. Man, look, 2021, Austin, man, you're doing it big. I mean, you're definitely riding. You're definitely seen by millions of people every week, man. What do you want out of life, man? What is something that you want to take on next?
Man, I want to do it all, man. Like I want to be A-list acting. I want to be writing, directing, producing, touring, just being another type Spielberg, you know what I mean? Just building a good empire, just showing the world what I'm capable of, just being out there doing it,
Yeah.
and giving other people opportunities,
If you got the tour today, what cities would you check out?
New Orleans,
Huh?
definitely Chicago, New York, Texas. Apparently Texas is popping right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely go out the country as well too. I hit all the popping spots, Seattle, Miami. It's the main things I can think of right now.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you're like, oh man, I've been dying to go to Tokyo, or I've been dying to go to London or something. I don't know if you had like a wish list, if you will.
No, I would do Tokyo for sure.
Yeah. Well, people who go to Tokyo never come back disappointed. And then like, oh, I went to Rome, it's trash. It's like, yo,
yeah,
it goes over forever.
Yeah, people I know have been to Tokyo always like say nothing but good things.
Yeah. Are you happy you were outside more, or were you getting used to the world inside?
Honestly, man, it's like I'm still nervous, but it's it's good to be out and doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the no mask thing. Like it's scary, But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that things are opening and we can a little more freely. But whatever it takes to get us, feeling, for things to be safe again, what I'm cool with, you know what I mean? If we have to, being home with, for your safety, that's not really a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
My freedoms were impacted.
Yeah, I don't know why people were, making it seem like that's so awful, Yeah, but whatever it takes, for us to be safe again, to avoid this from happening again, I'm cool with.
You do anything for 4th of July at all, or
Vegas? Yeah.
Oh, right. You're doing the Vegas thing, man. Make sure to check him out headlining, bro. Headlining. Woo!
Headlining.
Sheesh. Austin Warren, so glad that you're on the show. And people in the chat on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch just dropping by and saying hello. So what's the Flobo After Hours? Learn more about the show at newamsterdam.com. That's KNWAmsterdam.com. Hey, Austin, I know you're a busy man, but before we get out of here, man, I got to play a game with you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Right. You down to play a game with me?
Let's do it.
All right, this one here is called Favorite Things. I'm going to ask you some questions. You let me know what your favorite things are. Easy peasy, right?
Okay.
Now you can pass, but why would you? All right, hit me. What's your favorite comedy experience?
Favorite comedy experience? Opening for my boy Flobo.
Don't lie to people. What's your actual favorite comedy experience?
No, I'm not even bullshitting. Like getting to open up for somebody. That was a dope thing.
All right. Well, thank you. You warm my heart, man. Favorite movie of all time?
Super bad.
Oh, which one?
Super bad.
Oh, Super Bad. Yeah. It is Super Bad. Okay, I got you. McLovin.
Yeah.
Favorite junk food if you partake?
Mochi.
Oh, what's your favorite flavor then?
Strawberry.
Okay, man's got class. So I was talking about this with my man's Josh Rodriguez a couple weeks ago because strawberry ice cream was what we grew up on. I'm glad you picked strawberry. It is like a little favorite song you sing or play when you're feeling yourself.
DNA by Kendrick.
Okay, is that your walkout song on stage or no?
Wait, that should be. No, I don't have one, but that.
Oh, well, you're gonna walkout song? Yo, you a headliner though. You gotta tell them, yo, play this song when you call my name. That's how it works.
I should start doing
it. Yo, what's up, Strawberry? Like, see, Strawberry, what's up? For mine, for the longest time, it was Kanye West's "Get My Money Right." Wait till I get my money. Okay, that was for a long time. I gotta get a new one though. Favorite spot in LA to take a date, if you partake.
Universal or the Grove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grove is alright. I'm more of an Americana guy, but ain't no shame, no shame. Favorite show you're watching on Netflix, not named Lupin.
First show. Ozark is pretty dope.
Okay, yeah. Got a couple of chats here. JLJB to the How We're My Own Walkout song. I want to hear this.
Yeah, I want to hear that too.
Because my podcast is saying Flobito on the track, so I can imagine what your walkout song is. A couple more. Favorite cartoon of all time.
Favorite cartoon. Do adult sitcoms count?
I think so. It's a cartoon.
Oh, all right. Give me a second. I guess Rick and Morty.
Okay, yeah. Not my cup of tea, man, but I heard it was dope. I saw one episode. I liked that episode, but it was like, all right, I saw it.
Bro, keep it going. It's really dope.
It was the one with the first season, the Mr. Meeseeks episode or whatever that was.
Bro, that is my favorite one. That one. That's an episode I could still cry laughing at because it's just so silly that it's hilarious.
It was like, it was a good time. I'm good.
It's so no that I'm surprised you didn't want to keep going after watching that episode.
I just didn't get the whole Rick Sanchez with the green shit in his mouth. I don't know. Yeah, Family Guy's favorite cartoon. Family Guy had his heyday back in the day. Three more. Favorite celebrities meeting story, if you have.
Oh man, Bo. I've met Bo a couple times. So Little Rel, Little Rel Howery. He had he was filming his special, and he put out on social media giving out free tickets, and asked a mutual friend of ours, Ashley Rose, if she wanted to go. Shout out to Ashley. So we went. He filmed it at a gymnasium on Crenshaw, and we were sitting in the gym, and I'm looking around, and in the back I spotted Bo, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Bo Burnham, and Ashley had no idea who that was. So I'm like, man, I'm wondering if I can go say what's up, so I go say what's up, and he was looking like, I kind of remember you. And then so we started chatting, and asked for a follow on Instagram, and he gave it to me, which was dope.
Wow, you asked bold, man. Respect.
Yeah.
Shoot that shot. Because I'd have been like,
it wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't like, please. Yeah, no, I wasn't like, fangirl, like, please follow me. Like, please. I was just like, oh, you're my fan. I'm a big fan. Like, can I get a follow? Yeah. So simple.
That is a pro tip, really, because you think about it. It's like when someone is like really into you, you're like, yo, what's the catch? But if someone's like, yo, man, if you want to come by to the party, wear this, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you just more chill about it, that's the way to go.
Absolutely. That's a message for any people that meet their any celebs. Just be cool, and just be cool when you meet somebody.
I met Millicent Shelton, she's a TV director one time, and I remember taking a line from Mark Echols' book Unlabeled, which I recommend to anyone. That's a book I give out as a gift. I just texted her on Twitter. I was like, I respect what you do. And it was like it would open way more doors and be like, oh my God, it's Millicent Shelton. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got two more for you. Favorite holiday, man, or top two?
I mean, you know, black folks love Thanksgiving, so
I hate it, but continue. I
What?
can't stand it. It's my least favorite holiday. I can't stand it.
oh, you know, it's just the feeling of going home and like just waking up that Thanksgiving morning and grandma's cooking, you know.
But you know what the worst part about that is that you opened for me at the comedy show where I started off my set being, I hate Thanksgiving. You were in the room. What the hell? You weren't even paying attention.
I completely forgot.
Oh, man, yeah, you're a good set, bro. Man. All right. What, do you have a top two or top three or just Thanksgiving with a bullet?
You know, I'm always happy to see another year, so New Year's one. And Christmas.
Okay, yeah. New Year's Day is my favorite.
Yeah.
Followed by Valentine's Day. Lastly,
Really?
yeah. As a single man, love Valentine's Day. As a boyfriend, not so much. It's too much pressure. It's 6 weeks after Christmas. Yo, there was years when I was broke. I'm like, yo, babe, Merry Christmas. But let me know what you want for Valentine's Day. I got 6 weeks to get the money for this boy. We going someplace? We getting food? All right.
Dang.
Yeah, when you poor, it's different, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta stock up. Like when everything shut down and I had like $100 to go to the store, I was like, yo, I don't know how long it was going to be. So I'm going to get everything, but like I had $100. So I was getting like Vienna sausages and like canned potatoes and shit. Was gross, man. Like and lastly, favorite place to perform comedy.
My favorite place. Lately the Comedy Chateau has been fun. But before that, I would say the Improv. Improv is very fun.
Oh yeah, Improv is great. It's a weird thing. Like the question's open ended for a reason. Like there are certain thrills I get. Like the main room at Comedy Store was cool, but like I felt I met more comedy connections at Sycamore. Right? Like I felt like that was a cool venue, free parking in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like a little cabal going or whatever, but that's dope. My man, thanks for staying with me, man. What's up, Flobo After Hours, episode number 52, 1 year on the air, if you can imagine that. And I got myself like one of the best people on the planet. If people want to check you out on Instagram or all over the world, how can they follow you, find you, all that good stuff?
I'm only on Instagram, so you can check me out. I go by the username AMWRRN, and I let everybody know what I'm up to on there. So
yeah,
I
mean,
congratulations to you, man, on your 1 year.
Oh man, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna celebrate by taking next week off, honestly. But it was funny because on the promo for the show today, I had tagged your Twitter, and I was like, "This dude hasn't been, this dude hasn't been here for a long time." But definitely Instagram, check it out. A lot of good stuff there. A lot of good things you're into. Hopefully we'll get more Lupin. But you know what? Even if you get something bigger, man, it's earned and deserved. I remember the days you were just in the car being like, "Yo, we need a break, man. We need someone just to, to cut us some slack out here, man. It's rough."
It's tough, man, for up and come, for beginners. Yeah. But
yeah,
just keep, that's a shout out, this is a message to all your followers. Just keep going because it will definitely pay off. Just put the work in. Absolutely.
Man, mic drop. But like I said before, I am actually off the air next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks for a lot more fun. That's Austin Warren letting you know nuggets of information. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. But until then, man, after hours are closed.
The bed is still the lane.